All right. Hello, my people. Welcome to Creative Emotions. I'm Seth Wilson. Q's on a slight vacation today. I hope everybody's been having a wonderful week. I'd like to introduce my co-host today, Polo.
Appreciate it, Chef. How you doing today?
You know I'm amazing.
Okay. We back in the building, man. I love this. I love it. You ready to get it on today?
I'm always ready to cook it up. I'm always ready to cook it up. How's your week been?
Man, my week's been awesome, man. I can't wait for the Christmas, be around the family, the brunches, all the Christmas stuff. We were just talking about that, so, that's a part of what our topic going to be about today.
Yes,
yeah.
Today's topic is staying grounded.
Right, exactly. That's a part of the grounded procedures and family oriented and child, all the stuff that go along with that. We need that.
Absolutely. And I have to say, Matt, I enjoy this guy right here. We have an amazing conversation on the phone.
Yes, we do.
And it was just like right on time, right?
Wasn't it? It was right on time. The whole topic was right on time.
The whole topic was right on time. Yeah. So today we're talking about staying grounded. We're going to talk about it in various areas of your life. And it's the simplest things that we can relate to each and every day. My goal is when I come in front of you guys, is to try to give you some information that's going to make your life easier, your children's life easier, maybe your spouse at a workplace. Okay. So today, when we sat down and we talked about staying grounded, we both were able to speak to this thing, right? Polo, you gave me your personal couple of things that was going on, and I appreciate you being transparent. So when I looked up in Webster's dictionary for the definition of meaning of staying grounded, it had mentally, emotionally stable, sensible, and realistic. Then I found another definition. They say you are sensible, reasonable, and they understand the importance of the ordinary things in life. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because that's what we deal with each and every day, especially in this holiday season when everybody's in a rush, right? So we have to stand still for a second, right? Be grounded, right? Because this is the time of year, I don't know if people realize, this is actually when you go in debt for the next year. This is how it all starts, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let me ask you a question.
Let's go.
Now, when you think about staying grounded, what does that mean to you? How does that look for you?
I'm glad you asked. For me, staying grounded is like understanding that you have to have balance. And I say that because we're going to talk about a lot of different things today. But having balance is not just, okay, I'm going to go do this workout, I'm going to go here. Staying grounded, having balance is like, okay, this stay grounded. Whereas I say, I know that I'm going to work out for X amount of hours, but I know I got to do X amount of things or go read this book or whatever else it is, because that's all part of staying grounded. It's just not like, because I'll go to work every day, because I go to church or whatever I may do, I'm a nice person, that I'm going to stay grounded. No, I have to consciously think about the things that I'm doing so I make sure that I stay grounded. And that's what I do. I always tell people, I do a self-check.
Okay.
That's a part of staying grounded, doing that self-check to say, hey, am I where I need to be at today? Am I around the people that I need to be around today? Because some people you don't need to be around.
Absolutely.
They're going to throw you straight off your square, and then instead of you staying grounded, you're on rocky soil, and it's slippery and everything else.
You're absolutely right. Now, I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to ask a question of you, but I'm going to answer it. The way I start my day, so I stay grounded,
right,
is I start my day out with prayer.
That's important. That has been super important.
With prayer.
Right.
And I pray for everybody in my life and all their individual needs. I also start with listening to some affirmations, right? And I lay in the bed. So I take out time for that. One other thing that I had developed probably about a couple years ago, I made a vision board.
Man.
And
a lot of people don't know about vision boards. That's crazy when you say that.
Yeah, I get a vision board, right? So I lay my eyes on my vision board before I leave the house. Before I leave the house, right? So what's going to happen with that, for me at least, right, it's going to keep me from making spontaneous decisions.
That's
right?
true. Mm-hmm.
Because I got to stay grounded on my vision board, the things that I put in place, right? So that's just one of the ways that I start my day. Now, how do you start? Do you start in the beginning of the day, midday, or in the evening?
First thing in the morning, I get up, and a lot of people got the daily, not the Daily Bread, but it's a daily prayer app. Yes. I don't really know what the app is called, but I use that, and I go right into the verses, and I get about time where I call a spiritual time. Okay. After I read what they put out there and project, I go right into talking, just talking one-on-one with the Lord, just for me personally, because I believe in spirituality. Absolutely. Then after that, I do exactly what you're doing, but a little different. I go to my phone, because my vision board now, because of the technology, is in my phone. Okay. So I start telling myself, okay, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to have these things go on. Mm-hmm. Immediately after that, I start making the calls that are necessary to stay grounded. Okay. Now catch what I'm saying, Chef. Okay. The calls, because when we get up, sometimes we get deterred by Facebook and Instagram and blah, blah, blah. So no, I got to go right into making the right calls. That'll start the day, my day, going the right way. Okay. Because I've made the calls that I need to make to try to get on, to stay on the right track, because of course, life happens. Absolutely. And staying grounded is one of them things that's a continual process. It never stops from just one little thing. Yes, and I agree with you 100% on that one. Now, if you have children and you're a single parent, you may not have this luxury, but one thing I will share with you is whatever time your day starts, just get up a half an hour earlier, right? Because you may be listening now and say, man, I just have so much to do to prepare the kids to get out the house. Just get up a half an hour earlier, because this is for you, right? Just get up 30 minutes earlier just to do this for yourself. But here go the thing too, Chef. And lady told me this one time. She said, you can pray on the toilet. Absolutely. People don't understand. Staying grounded or talking to your affirmations, bringing them into light, doesn't mean you have to literally sit there in bed. If only time you got free time is in the shower, hey, start doing what you need to do. If it's on the toilet, whatever it is, driving in the car, while the kids doing. You have to carve out that time for yourself and make sure you understand why you're carving it out. Absolutely. I carve out time in the weirdest places and the weirdest times, because I have to in order to stay grounded in what I want to do. So it's very, very important, because a lot of people say, well, like you said, I'm busy, kid. That's just, to me, those are excuses. I agree 100% with that. So I like what you just said. So if you're in a position where you can get up a little early, do it. But like Polo said, if you have to do it in the car, do it in the car, right? Sometimes I'm in a meeting, right? And I'm paying attention, but I'm also paying attention to the things I have to do for the day that I promised myself, right? And sometimes I'll get writing, or I'll open up my book and I'll look at it, right? Maybe the meeting at that time is not pertaining towards me. So you're right, I do it in the oddest places. In the oddest places. You know what I'm saying? So I agree 100%. Do you have any other ways that you start your day out, or that helps you stay focused once your day begins and the distractions come at you? Well, glad you put that one out there. So another thing I do is I stop and take a breath. Okay. It sounds really cliche, but when things are going crazy for you, sometimes you got to stop. Also, you have to put people in your life that can cover you. So it was a TikTok today I saw, and the guy said about the game Call of Duty. Okay. And he said something at the time when Call of Duty was time to reload, you tell your teammate, you say, hey, I'm reloading, cover me. So when they're covering you, that means that something may happen. I may get shot. So what I'm doing is asking you to cover me so I don't get killed. But why we don't do that with people? Wow. People that's in our circle. Why are we not putting people in our circle to do the exact same thing, to cover me? So during the course of my day, I have people that cover me. I didn't know it until the guy said it, and I realized that's who that person I call when I just want to call and have lunch. That's that person that I call when I just want some confirmation or some affirmations from them. Because I'm weak right now, for whatever the reason may be. Because things done got thrown at me. Because we tend to want to listen to what misery loves company. Absolutely. But what about when misery finds opposition? All right now, brother. On that one. Right. And I do believe in covering people because you yourself, you may come
come to my mind, and you know I'll send you something.
Right.
Now, whether or not it's right on time, right? I'll just follow the spirit, and people get messages from me randomly throughout the day because you crossed my mind at that moment. Not that I wanted to see what you were doing, what you were up to, but I said, let me send them this because I think this will be helpful, right? And that's part of covering you.
100%.
And then you can get back to being grounded from that distraction that's in front of you.
And people need that.
Absolutely.
See, Chef, that is so people don't work out of spirituality and they're always trying to work out of knowledge. Knowledge is great. I'm never going to say you shouldn't work out of knowledge, especially when it comes to staying grounded. You need to know these things. But when you're working out of spirituality or you allowing yourself to just be one with the universe, it changes how you move.
Sure
because
does.
then it'll be a call and it'll be something that happened and you'll be like, oh, okay, you know what? I need to call Polo. Or I need to call Chef. I need to go do this. You're not moving because you understand why you're moving. You're moving because you're staying grounded to what's going on in your universe.
Absolutely.
See, we all have these little universal spheres that we live in, but for some reason we step out of them to think, okay, I'm going to go and hang with Chef, and me and Chef going to drink all night, and I'm going to get up and go to work. How? You just totally destroyed your whole universe by jumping in somebody else's.
Absolutely.
When you could have just went on here and said, you know what, I'm going to have 1-2 drinks and go home.
Absolutely.
I need to stay grounded because I got to go to work tomorrow.
Absolutely.
It's simple. It's simplicity, but for some whatever reason, we allow the weirdest things to throw us off of it.
And I'm glad you just said that because that was like number 6 on my list. And
I'm knocking them down. We knocking them down.
Knocking them down. And I said, when you're out for the evening, give yourself a personal curfew.
Yep.
Do you hear me? Give yourself a personal curfew.
That's real.
Okay?
That is real.
And that's that point in time, no matter what's happening in the evening, you kindly dismiss yourself, but you tell everybody, man, I really enjoyed you. But start giving yourself a personal curfew when you're out in the evening and you're trying to get something achieved in your life.
Right.
Right? Because the things that you're doing in that evening is going to affect, like Polo said, it's going to affect your tomorrow. Right? So we're all grown up here, right? So everybody's making moves. Everybody's trying to develop businesses, companies. But it's okay to have some standards so you can stay grounded. So that was my number 6 that I wrote down was give yourself a personal curfew.
No, people need that.
Yes.
People need a lot of people, and it's funny because we go from what they say we like the microwave family. You know, we burn everything, everything so fast.
Yes.
But nobody takes time to really understand. If I start setting myself up, and I'm not saying not be spontaneous, but if I start setting rules and regulations, times, I'm staying grounded something totally different. I can actually achieve a goal.
Absolutely.
It's hard to achieve a goal when you just free balling it.
Yep, absolutely. So where we're at with this evening is we both agree, and then hopefully you agree. And if you hadn't been looking at it this way, start your day out being grounded. It's going to look different for all of us because of our schedule, our responsibilities. But start your day out, right? Remind, even if you don't have a vision board, Polo said he looks at his phone, right? So he's preparing for the next day, the things he's trying to get accomplished. So let's start our day out throughout today. Remind yourself, okay? Stay focused. Remind yourself throughout the day. And then that personal curfew, you like that? Right. I enjoy that part, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because last night I was out. And it was funny. A lot of people I was watching, we was at a comedy show, and a lot of, quote unquote, the older crowd. I don't know if I'm a part of the older crowd yet, but the older crowd, you know, I might be still young. I'm a young whippersnapper. But anyway, the older crowd was leaving.
Okay.
So it was funny how during the course of the night, you know, people that was maybe in their 50s and a little bit up, they was walking out because, of course, they're staying grounded to whatever, you know, they got a personal curfew.
Absolutely.
And that was cool. But I realized, I said, I don't even got no curfew. Like, I just keep going and going and going. But I had to realize, but my time frame is different than theirs because I work on a different schedule.
Okay.
So it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm going to start setting the curfew.
Yes.
Just because not so much as that me not hanging out, but it's just at a certain time, it's time for me to go home.
Absolutely.
Because I need my rest.
I was about to touch base on that because that's part of being grounded.
100% rest.
Yeah, your physical and your mental, and we're going to talk about that also. Your mental health and your physical health when it comes to being grounded. It's hard to stay focused and be grounded when you're mentally and physically exhausted.
Oh my God!
Right. So we live in an age where people say go hard or go home. Yeah. Right. So everybody going hard, but what are you leaving for the next day?
That's true.
What are you leaving when you're just going so hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see with social media, maybe a lot of entertainers, what we don't see is when the cameras shut down, right? And I guess it's not what they're telling you; it's what your mind is telling you that they're continuously just going hard all night, all day. No, these people are actually taking time for meditation, taking time for their physical health, their dietary needs.
Right.
That's what you're not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's why these people can continue to have a successful acting career, because they're taking out that time. But we're not seeing that. But believe me, they're doing it. So we're talking about that tonight, staying grounded and the things that you can do to help you stay focused and grounded. And like you said earlier, balance.
Gotta have balance.
Balance.
That's the key. Literally, that is the key, because if I do anything all one way, and I was telling somebody this the other day, 0 to 10. If I'm doing everything 0 or everything 10, I'm never going to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I'm going to accomplish something, but it's not what I want to. But if I find that 5 and maybe go 0 sometimes and sometimes do the 10, then come back to that 5, I'm going to be a little bit better overall.
Overall.
You know, like what's the guy that just died? Everybody was talking about him? Twitch. So people don't understand, when you look at celebrities, you automatically assume, like you just said, that they're grounded. And that's the other side of that, what you were just talking about.
Yes.
Because a lot of celebrities do take a lot of time out to go and make sure they're okay and blah, 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 blah. But here go another instance of a person who we think, quote unquote, got it all or made it. And guess what? He didn't. Because he wasn't grounded. For whatever the reason may be.
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's something that we just have to look at as individuals to say, when I'm talking about staying grounded, am I truly looking at balance as a part of that key? Or am I just doing what I think I should do to stay grounded?
And it goes back to what you were saying earlier about having someone cover you. So who was covering him?
Exactly.
With him looking so happy all the time.
Yeah.
And I think Boy Girl said it earlier, bitch found out you can be happy, depressed.
Exactly. And that, right? Yeah, and that was a great comment she made, because who thinks about being happy, depressed? Like it don't even exist.
Yes.
But it does exist.
I know I went through a period when I was going through a divorce, and I put a smile on every day, right? It was some days it was hard.
Right.
I don't know whether or not I was depressed during the period because there was so much going on, but because of society and what society says, I said, and then within myself, I said, let me put this smile on. You know, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm good. How about yourself?
Right.
You know, some of that going on, right?
Exactly.
But I had to take, like they do at football games at halftime at basketball, I had to go and take a locker room break and get myself together. Like, all right, man, you got this, bro. Come on. Stay focused, stay grounded, right? So, like with Twitch, you know, who was checking on him? Who was covering him? Yeah. Because he seemed like he was so balanced. Call your people. I see sometimes they put on Facebook, it'll be an accident or something, and then people put in there, check on your people. No, really, before the accident, check on your people.
Correct.
Okay? And then the next thing I want to talk to about with this whole thing, about being grounded and balanced, I want to talk to my fathers. And I do this quite often. And this part of you being grounded and balanced, because you said we're going to talk about it in different areas. So like for my brothers out here, slow down, take time and have a conversation with your children. They need your father energy.
Yes. They
need your father energy. Believe me, I had my son past weekend, and I sat down and I actually just listened to him. He had so much he wanted to tell me. So I just took out the time and I listened to him. I had nothing else to do, right? He just needed my father's energy there, right? So that was starting him on this journey of being grounded and balanced. So I was being grounded still within my home, and I had balance there, right? So I would just like to speak out to fathers, mothers too, but I'm just talking to the dads right now. Father's energy is very powerful and important. Very, very. So take out the time, and the key word is have a conversation with your children, right? So when you have a conversation, it's going to go back and forth. You're going to listen. They're going to listen. You're going to give advice, and you may end up learning something yourself, right? So for the dads, let's take out time. And your father's energy is very, very valuable. Don't underestimate it. Sure, your children have distractions, and it may seem like they're into their games. But best believe, right, that your father's energy is very valuable. So let's start having these conversations.
I definitely want to chime in real quick.
Go ahead.
That was a perfect segue, because people don't understand how important a father is in people's lives. It's like me having a father and me being a father, I realize both ways that's important. Yeah. That's super important, because if your father is still living, hey, do the same thing opposite with your father, because he's probably an older gentleman. Go spend time with him, learn about him, because he may not want to tell you what he really need to tell you, but that's going to help you stay grounded, because as now you are adults. And the vice versa, if you're a father and your kids, like Chef just said, that's crucial. You know, I've had to listen to my daughters, and I listen to them more and more, and it's helping me to understand them as grown-ups, because we keep forgetting, just because that's our baby don't mean they ain't a grown-up.
Absolutely.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I had to learn that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they may be your kid, but they still a grown-up. Mm-hmm. So, but it's good energy, because it helps you stay grounded and understand that life is precious.
Yes, it is.
And that's one of the things, like you was talking about earlier, we was talking about with your son, and it made me want to call my kids, and I teared up a little bit. You know, what's up, baby? Daddy want to talk to you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool,
and
though.
Thanks for being transparent with that, and that's what we're about on this show, transparency.
Gotta be.
Right? It's just not about for the grams, you know, for the likes and stuff, being transparent. So you can turn around and be transparent in your life, and that is a quality that people underestimate. People love transparency, right?
Well, here go the thing, Chef. I always say this. People are afraid to say what they're already going to say through action.
Yes. Through
not saying it. Mm-hmm. So all these things they do, it's the same transparency that they won't show just when you first meet somebody right off the rip.
Okay.
Why not give it to you?
Absolutely.
Because now you know who I am. Now you don't have to be afraid that I'm giving you a two-sided face. No, this is what it is. You know, we're not perfect. And people pretend to be perfect and not understanding. That's a part of understanding about staying grounded.
Staying grounded. I was about to say, you have to be... That is part about staying grounded, right? Because we're talking about in different areas in your life. It could be financial. It can be being a parent. It could be at your workplace. Yeah, so that is part of it. So we don't want to leave out any part of this life experience, right? Because we talk about all the time on this show that we life certified, right? I talk about things. Polo talk about things. When Q's here, we talk about things that we actually experienced, right? We went through it. We scraped up our knees a little bit, but we got up and we learned from these things. So staying on top of that, just for a second with the dads about being grounded, I would say one thing, let's talk to the dads and stuff, because I had to go through this too. I remember once my son, he may have been about 5, and his mom asked him, what do you want to get Dad for Christmas? And she ended up telling me the answer. I said, oh, what did he say? He said, work. And I said, what? She said, yeah, work. Because he said, you seem to love it because you're there all the time. And I said, wow.
Right.
Right. So, I figure I was grounded, but not in the areas where my son needed my father's energy.
Correct.
So I had to hurry up and correct that. I laughed about it. I was like, wow, really? But that's what he saw, right? Now, maybe on the other end, it had developed good work ethics, but at that time, it spoke to my heart. So I said, I got to be more grounded with my father's energy, right? And so that's what we're talking about right now. So if we spend less time running the streets, chasing money, right? I'm going to talk to dads right now, chasing a dollar to take care of things and spend a little bit more time grounded at home. And then what's going to happen is you'll spend a little bit more time developing your gifts and walking in your purpose. So we got to slow down a little bit, just slow down a tad bit, guys, right? And it's okay to be grounded at home sometimes. It's okay if you're a father, or even if you're a single parent, to carve out time for family time. Yep. And how does that look? I'm going to tell you. I'm glad you asked. So that's when we set down all the devices. Either we're going to have a game night, right? We're going to do movies. If it's to sit down at dinner, right? But that family time looks at this way. Anybody outside of your home, you just let them know on this particular day, we're having family time, right? So it's not interrupted. But the key thing, we got to put down the cell phones. We got to put down the iPads.
Right.
Okay, we got to put it down, and we have to be grounded within our family, because you'll find out a lot about what's going on in your children's life if you take out for this family time. I would suggest do it at least once a month. Right? If not twice, but at least once a month, right? You'll find out a lot. Things won't surprise you. We get surprised a lot because we're not grounded and we're not taking out time, family time, which is being grounded, to find out what's going on in our children's life.
That's true.
So by the time it comes to you, it's a situation.
Yes, a bad situation.
And it's always a situation that needs to be taken care of, like, by the end of the week.
Right.
Right? So if we slow down, even if you're a single mom, right? Just carve out that time to be grounded within your family. Take out the family time. It's fun. You just may enjoy it yourself, because, you know, when my daughter's home and my son had me cracking up all the time. My daughter had me cracking up, and I enjoy it. Actually, I really do. I'm a big fan in Sunday dinners. So my thing, the strategy is to sit at the table. Then I ask questions. I find out what's going on.
Right.
They don't know.
Exactly.
I see, back in the day, parents had to go through the room and look under the mattress and all that. No, just sit down. Family time. You find out, ask a couple questions, talk about a couple things. They'll spill their guts. You know what I'm saying?
Because what's funny about that is that people don't really get, kids, wives, significant others, they don't mind communicating if they know you're a communicator.
Yes.
The problem is most of us don't like to communicate. We say we do, but then when it comes down to stuff like you're talking about, we're not doing it. Sit around in the family, carve out that time, turn the devices off. I was doing something new. I started watching movies. I've been trying to catch up so fast, I ain't watching no movie. When I sit down and watch a movie, I feel relaxed and rejoiced and everything. Like, wow.
So what were you doing before that you didn't have that time? You weren't grounded?
I wasn't so much, it was what I call the air quotes, the grounded that I thought was grounded. I got to go over here to Chef house. I got to go to Girl Boy house. I got to go to everybody's house to go see them and hang with them, thinking that I'm really accomplishing something.
Oh, okay.
When all I need to do is slow down.
Slow down.
Relax. Watch a movie sometimes. Don't go out to the bar. Don't go to the event. We always got to go to an event. I got to go I'm a politician or something.
Okay.
So, but it's all a part of being grounded and realizing, like, okay, it's okay to tell somebody, no, I can't make it.
So would that be one of your things you would give people advice to, is to slow down?
100%.
Okay.
You got to. I got some points on here. I'm waiting for a little while longer, and I'm going to hit you with these points real quick, because they like some prolific, I think there's very prolific points to staying grounded.
And I'm going to let you do that one, too. Okay. So I got a couple that I'll share right now.
Okay.
Be mindful. When you're trying to be grounded in your life, be mindful of the things that you say, listen to, and the energy you allow people to share with you. Okay?
That's one of mine as well.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Create space for mindfulness.
Yes.
But you said it, I like the way you said it better, though.
No, so I like yours also. And we have to be mindful of the places that we go. True. Right? Because they can get you totally unfocused here. How does that look? It's an invite. It sounds good, right? But whenever you have to fit something into your schedule and take something away to make it fit, maybe that's not a place you should go. right? You have to maneuver too much to get there, right? So most definitely that's going to take you away from your grounded and your focused state of mind that you're in. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, because a lot of times, for whatever reason, people don't really get to understand how if you pull this away, I'm actually allowing something else to come in there. And that something else might be what I actually need, even though it doesn't make sense right now.
Okay.
You know, I'm big on that, Chef, is stop trying to make sense of everything that you're doing in your life.
Absolutely.
In order to stay grounded, if you had all the answers, you wouldn't have to stay grounded because you already be grounded. So evidently I don't have the answers. So some of the things I don't understand, I need to go ahead and say, okay, you know what? Let me pull back. Let me regress. Let me figure this out from a different perspective.
Okay.
Let me let y'all go ahead on.
I like that.
Because, I mean, it's literally what you're saying.
I like that.
It's literally what you're saying. That's why we hitting all the topics. I think we're going to hit a couple more points, too. Like I went from 8 down to 1.
Go ahead. We go back and forth. What you got next?
So I got one. I'm going to start with my first one. Staying focused on the present.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people don't want to stay focused on the present. We so worried about what's going on tomorrow, what's going on yesterday, what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
We're not thinking about the present.
Yes.
Enjoy this moment right now.
Yes.
That's a part of staying grounded.
That is.
Yeah. You can't get this moment back. It's over with.
Yes.
Go ahead. You hit me with one.
Make a commitment to your spiritual, your mental, and your physical health.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
I believe that's a part of being grounded. And the key word is make a commitment to yourself.
Yep.
Right? You can never let yourself down because you can quickly recover. You don't have to apologize to yourself, right? So this is something that you're not holding anybody else accountable for. And that's the other key thing I want to say. A part of being grounded, you're holding yourself accountable, no one else, right? Accountable for you being grounded because you're within your mind and yourself making decisions. So spiritual is very important. I don't know what you believe in, right? But you have to have a commitment to your spiritual health. Mental health is underrated, but we have to start paying attention to this, right?
Got to, yeah.
Mental health is becoming a growing and a big growing issue.
We got a caller.
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Okay, let the caller come on.
Hey guys, yes, you have a caller.
Hey,
This
caller,
one
how
sound
you doing?
familiar.
This is familiar. This is Q. You giving them good vibes. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey, Q.
I thank you guys so much for being transparent and for just putting yourselves out there. I want men to feel comfortable enough to be able to show this type of emotion so we as women can understand you and even help you be grounded. You know, when I think about being grounded, I take every Tuesday and I absolutely do nothing. I do nothing.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's my time, because everybody feel like I'm all over the place. Because I do different things, but everything is not all at once, you know? And so, you know, even for you guys, I know you have different lives, different schedules and things of that nature. And I did hear some of the things that you do. Just make sure you keep encouraging, you know, everybody on ways to stay grounded and what that look like. Because for me, like, even having time just to kick it with your children, just to get to know them individually. I know for me, I've always been told that, you know, I'm taking care of you, I'm paying the bill, like, I got a roof over the head, and now you hear that from people as adults. As adults, they're hurt from those same sins. That, yeah, my parent provided for me. Yeah, they did that, but they didn't create that groundedness and that relationship between the two. And so I do encourage people, make sure you make that time for your children. It is detrimental to this generation right now.
Right.
So I appreciate you guys so much.
No
You
problem.
killing it. Y'all, you know, holding it down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy
I am
that
listening
sun.
in.
Enjoy that sun
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for calling.
In my living room.
Right.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Q, you are the sunshine.
Bye.
I got another one right here. This is going to blow your mind right here.
Go ahead.
Having a sense of purpose is a part about staying grounded.
Yes, you know I love that purpose. Yes.
Purpose.
Speak on that.
See, people, we run around here, and I love this. We run around life, and we say we are doing all these things, but do you have purpose behind it? Or are you just doing it?
You better stop, man. I was talking about that today, man.
I know. I'm telling you, bro.
Look, man, you hitting on it. I asked one of my friends. She probably watching it. So what? I'm talking about it. So she was doing a lot, and I said, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "What's your end game?"
Right.
She's like, "What?" I said, "What's your end game?" Now she had an answer for me, but I like to ask everyone out there. We're busy doing a lot, but ask yourself, what is the end game?
Correct.
Right? How much do you need? What are you trying to develop? Where are we going with this thing? Or we're just fascinated with doing the most. You have to have an end game for everything, right?
That's a business plan.
Yes.
A business plan for life, a business plan for a business.
You got to have it. Why are we doing
Got to hit my milestones. Exactly.
Yes.
That's the whole purpose. That's why I said when I put that together, it blew my mind because I said so many people I know are doing a lot of stuff. I'm around a bunch of people doing a lot of stuff, but I'm not around a bunch of people that all got a bunch of purposes.
Well,
So-
hold up. You said doing a lot of stuff.
Right.
Thank you. That part.
I mean,
right
because that part that way.
I'm gonna start using that one.
Yeah, that part that way. But literally, when you start to put together a purpose stuff and be purposeful with it, it changes. When you get a schedule, when you get a regiment, when you get that somebody that's covering you,
Absolutely.
all those things you talking about. When you got the kid balance and when you go home at night, you got the I must use them because female for us. But when you got that mate balance, that parent balance.
Absolutely.
See, we don't understand all these different things and balances, and that also all lead to purpose.
Yes, it does.
It lead all around them because now I'm not, okay, I may not have the best relationship with my parents, but I'm going to go over there for 5 minutes, say hi and bye, take out the trash or something to show them that I love them.
Absolutely.
Because that's near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
I may not can't stay all day, but that's the end game. That's my purpose for that particular moment.
Okay.
Hoping that it develop into something else.
Yeah. Keeping in mind, it looks different for all of us.
Always.
We're just sharing a few things that happens in our life, and hopefully we're hitting on a few things that maybe you can hopefully relate to.
Come on, hit me with one. I know
Okay.
you got one, sir.
I got one. I don't know. This one, a lot of people
Come
may
on, bro. Bring it to us,
put
bro.
yourself on an allowance, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because if you're trying to be grounded, right, and you're trying to head for your vision for whatever you're doing, right, put yourself on a personal allowance. Oh, go ahead. We got a caller.
You got a caller.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, this Joe Jenkins.
Oh, what's going on?
How you doing there, brother? Chattanooga in the house.
Hey, I was just calling because I realized y'all was talking about, for one, the vision board, being grounded and all those things. And I just wanted to tap in on not only on that being grounded, but being intentional. Like y'all was talking about, like waking up before your day, get started 30 minutes early. And one thing I learned, because with my organization, so I got a mentor, and these guys are wealthy guys, and they continue to give us tools. But I had realized that I wasn't using the tools.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so when I talked to him, I told him, I said, look, if I'm not going to use the tools that you and your friends say work, it won't be but before so long when y'all look at me and say, you must don't believe our program because we've yet to see you use it.
Right. That's tough. I like, yeah.
So what's
You see
your
what I'm saying?
what's your end game then?
My end game?
How you?
My end game is to continue to empower the people, but not just in my city, but across the nation.
There we go.
And what's your plan for using some of the tools?
My plan, for one thing that I do, I wake up every day now and accountability. So every day I'm accountable for making sure that I do what I say I'm going to do. Like I get up, I write down my goals, I write down my targets for the day, and I begin to knock those out the park.
Yeah, I like
That's
that,
true.
my brother.
That's
And so
true.
people underestimate the power of pen and paper.
Right.
And I'm so glad that you blessed me with that, because I believe in that. You continue to grab that pen and paper and write down that vision. You won't perish.
Yes.
And this one, and I gotta say this, Chef. This guy right here is one of my guys that cover me.
Oh, okay.
He said something to me one day, and I gotta share this real quick, Joe. I gotta tell him real quick why I got you on the air. He said, "Hey man, I bought into the dream, but not to be a mechanic, for us to go out there and help people." He doing his part. He said, "Now do your part."
Yeah.
Because that's accountability. He made me accountable for what we created a long time ago that he's been able to push forward that I've been lacking on because I wasn't grounded and didn't have the right people around me, nor did I have somebody making me accountable. Thank you, brother, for making me accountable. You see, you see
Joe.
what we're doing now.
I appreciate you calling in, and go ahead.
If I could add to
Sure
that,
you can.
Like, it's a never-ending thing. Like, so in our board meeting, just 2 weeks ago, I had to sit back because I brought the Brave effect we brought it to where it's at, but I realized that I was just going, and I had lost focus of like how we was going to get to the next step. And so what I realized I had to do was delegate.
Okay.
Man, we appreciate you, Joe. Thank you,
Joe,
brother.
get my number from Polo, and then I'm going to put you on my list so I can cover you too.
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, y'all have a good one. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. That's my brother, man.
All right.
Caller, you on the line?
Yes, sir. How y'all brothers doing?
Oh, man. How you doing there,
We're
brother?
amazing.
All right. This y'all brother from another mother, brother.
What's up, Randy Rand? That's Randy Rand right there.
This Randy, man.
Nice meeting
How
you.
doing, my brother?
Man, you know, I'm amazing, man. This is a man's edition. I'm enjoying the energy. You know, we need this. I'm enjoying this. This is amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. But I wanted to expound on the title at hand, grounded.
Yes.
You know, grounded means to me, man, is a person must be disciplined.
Yes.
And a person must be willing to sacrifice the certain leads and urges in their life to be able to stay grounded and maintain their principle, values, and morals, and where they know where they're headed at in life. So in order to be grounded, you must have patience. You must understand and your identity of who you are as a person, right?
Right.
Yes.
And which you're working towards in the near future.
Yes. I like that.
But the main thing of being grounded is keeping God first in your life and understanding the word and applying the word of humility to your life.
Yes.
You
Okay.
You got to remain humble in order to stay grounded, man.
Right.
Because once you stay grounded, a lot of blessings is going to come your way from everywhere, every different direction. So you got to be able to humble yourself in order to maintain the groundedness.
Yes. Yes.
Maintain being grounded, that's being focused, and that comes in play with all y'all was talking about management skills and things of that sort.
And
So
I
just wanted to call in, man, and I wanted to let y'all brothers know y'all doing a good job tonight, man.
And I wanted to let you know that you hit my number 12 on the list.
He hit my number 3 too.
So one thing that you spoke to that I wrote down for men is to control your desires.
Yep.
Right. And when you spoke of being disciplined, you know, that is a major part. So thanks for blessing us with that.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
We got some good calls tonight.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
brother. Have a good night.
All right, y'all, bless night, man.
Yeah,
You
thank
too.
you. So pay attention to this, people. I know, and we're talking about grounded, but we spoke on that father and that man energy
Right.
being necessary. Pay attention, people. It is some good men out here, right? They are. And they have the skills and the mindset, right? They're out here, right? They're out here, they're calling in, and I love this part. I know Q is sitting at home with a smile on her face also, but I'm loving this conversation, this energy that's coming through the phones here in the studio.
Right, 100%.
100%. So I'm about to bounce it back because I know you got another one for us. Hit us.
This one right here is going to blow your mind. Deeply trusting yourself. Wow. You have to trust yourself if you want to stay grounded. When you make moves out here and it don't make sense, understand something is pushing you, gravitating you to that. A lot of people, like, I'll give a great example. Somebody might lose their job and say, oh, my God, I lost my job. How am I going to pay my bills? Well, you just walked into your entrepreneurial thing that you needed to do. But you couldn't do it because you kept that job. Absolutely. You wouldn't let go of that job to trust that you knew how to make money in a whole nother way and make abundant money. And that's what a couple of the calls that came in today, that's what they're talking about. The brothers trusted himself. And that means a lot. You know, and I'm gonna throw it back to you because I'm about to go and preach for a minute, talk about trusting.
We're gonna hit this.
All right.
So my number 9 was setting healthy boundaries.
Okay.
And it's very, very necessary when you're staying focused on your vision and you're heading somewhere and you want to be grounded. I cannot express, right along with being disciplined, how you have to set healthy boundaries. And how does that look? I remember back in the day when Dad came home, Mom would say, hey, give your dad a couple minutes, right? Just got off work. Well, she understood the part about Dad coming home needed to be grounded first, right? So with your friends and family, right? I have some friends, and I'll tell them, they'll call me, and they know they may be listening. And I say, hey, let me call you back because I'm about to go. I'm going to start writing, right? Mm-hmm. And they're very respectful for it. So you have to set healthy boundaries, and you have to speak it in a respectful way, right? Mm-hmm. You have to speak it in a respectful way. And these are healthy boundaries. So I don't want you to think about hurting someone's feelings, right? If you express it in a proper way, people will respect that. And those are healthy boundaries, right? And it's going to look different for me, for you, maybe for someone's listening, but set them. Speak it. And it's going to help you stay grounded. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Polo.
Well, I just want to say, Chef, I appreciate this, and I appreciate everybody tonight that listened and chimed in, because staying grounded is very important. We want, like Chef said, it's different for everybody, but learn yourself enough to learn what it takes for you to stay grounded. It's one of the things about our community, and I'm talking about the community at large, is that it's the holiday times and people so worried about, like they said, gifts and everything else. Just worry about staying grounded and being happy. Be happy it's the holiday times.
Yes, it is.
Don't worry about the gift part of it. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But put a smile on your face and let them know I'm loving you and I want you to love back, because that's going to help you stay grounded.
And I'm glad you said it, because I thought about that earlier, about this gift thing, but it's really the season for love. And a gift can be a gift of love, right?
100%.
100%. So if you find yourself, if you're out at Myers, Walmart, be grounded sometime in this moment, and how does that look? I'm going to tell you how it looks. You're in line, right? And you have a basket full of stuff, but you have to stay grounded on your budget. Let the person in front of you step to the side, and if you have to pull some of that stuff out, pull it out. Stay grounded, right? Mm-hmm. Replace some of those things with love, right? Stay grounded, because that's part of you staying grounded on your financial goals, right? And if you listen to what I said earlier, and most people may realize this is the time of the year that you go in debt for the rest of the year.
Man,
believe me.
That's tough.
When I tell you this.
That is
right.
Right.
So part of you staying grounded, right, is being transparent with yourself, right?
That's true.
Polo just said, give some love, right? So you may have 2 gifts. Let the third be love.
Gotta be.
Some knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And then allow your children, be transparent enough so your children can see you be grounded, right? That's generational wealth. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely hear you, Chef, and nobody else do. I hear you, brother.
Because you can leave your children with monetary things, but if you have not been an example of being grounded, they're going to run through it.
Quick.
Right? That's the difference. You can never spend wealth, right?
Never.
Right.
And the legacy has nothing to do with money.
That's what I'm saying.
People don't realize that. That's an inheritance. If you inherit something, that's an inheritance. Legacy is something that I don't sit down because I stayed grounded and showed you guys stuff that's different. If I'm doing it the right way.
If you're doing it the right way.
If I'm doing it the right way.
So we're going to wrap it up.
Man,
but,
this was a great show. Great show.
I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, for our callers.
Yes.
And if you take one thing from this, take this. Take out the time and know that you are important, right? And I believe that's a big part of being grounded. Believe in yourself. Like we're saying, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and believe in the process.
Wow.
Right? Polo said earlier that we're in this microwave age. Yes. Anything worth having, we've heard this time and time again, it's going to come in a process, and it's not going to be overnight.
Never.
Right? So what we're talking about today, we gave some helpful tips on being grounded, right? We talked about spiritual health, mental health, physical health. We talked about father's energy. We talked about putting yourself on a personal curfew,
right?
A personal daily or monthly allowance. Come on, this is going to help us, right? This is going to help us. So we just want everyone to tune in next week when Q will be back. Don't forget about Poetry and Conversations. Yep. I think she's on this Friday or the next Friday.
It was last Friday, so next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah. That's an amazing time. You'll see me there.
Right, definitely. I'll be in the house.
Well, girl, you going to come in and bless us on the mic also?
One more time. Hey, don't forget, I'll be down at Floods next Thursday, the 29th. Celebrate a bunch of birthday parties. If you got something, you're in the city, come on out for the holidays and party with me, Lee Polo.
And I have to give one shout out to B and Fame over at 313.
Okay, B.
Anybody who know me know I love hats.
Okay.
And man, these guys have some amazing hats over there and stuff, so they always put me together. I think they be putting my card together too. I gotta find a different way home sometimes. Right. But like Q always say, we love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. And we'll see you next week.
All right, man.